Most people say they hate the money game. They hate rich people. They hate capitalism. They hate the system. They hate how unfair life feels when some people seem to win so easily, while others work their entire lives and still struggle. And honestly, they are not completely wrong. The money game is not fair. It does not reward effort equally. It does not care how tired you are. It does not care how good your heart is. And it definitely does not care whether you think the rules are moral. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Hating the game does not protect you from it. Ignoring money does not make money ignore you. Refusing to learn the rules does not make the rules disappear. It only makes you easier to beat. The first rule is simple. Money is a game, even if you never agreed to play. From the moment you are born, money is already shaping your life. It affects where you live, what school you attend, how healthy your family can stay, what risks you can take, how much freedom you have, and how other people treat you. Most people are told that money is just a tool. But that is only half true. Money is also a scoreboard. It tells the world how much leverage you have. It decides whether you can say no. It decides whether you can walk away. It decides whether your mistakes destroy you or simply become lessons. That is why the money game feels cruel. Because it does not start everyone in the same place. Some people are born on level 1. Some people are born on level 50. And some people are born holding the rulebook. Most people are taught to survive money. They are taught to get a job, pay bills, avoid debt, save a little, and hope nothing goes wrong. But wealthy people are often taught something different. They are taught to understand money, how it moves, how it grows, how it hides, how it protects itself, how it buys time, access, and influence. This is why two people can work equally hard and live completely different lives. One person sells time. The other person buys time. One person works for income. The other person builds assets. One person tries to look rich. The other person learns how wealth actually works. The difference is not always intelligence. Sometimes the difference is education. Not school education. Money education. This is one of the hardest rules to accept. The money game does not reward effort equally. It rewards leverage. A person can work 12 hours a day and still stay poor. Another person can make money while sleeping. That sounds unfair because it is unfair. But it is also the rule of the game. Effort is what you put in. Leverage is what multiplies what you put in. Skills are leverage. Capital is leverage. Technology is leverage. Media is leverage. Reputation is leverage. A strong network is leverage. The poor are often trapped selling raw effort. The rich focus on building systems that multiply effort. That is why working harder is not always enough. If you are pushing a wall, pushing harder only makes you tired. You need to find the door. Leverage is the door. This part is uncomfortable. Hating rich people can become a trap. Not because every rich person is good. Not because the system is fair. But because hatred often blocks learning. When you hate someone, you stop studying them. You stop asking what they understand that you do not. You stop noticing the patterns. You only see arrogance. You only see luck. You only see corruption. And sometimes those things are real. But they are not the whole story. Some wealthy people win because they know taxes better. Some win because they understand ownership. Some win because they control distribution. Some win because they build brands. Some win because they know how to turn attention into money. If you only hate them, you learn nothing from them. And the game continues without you. Money does not move randomly. It flows toward value. It flows toward control. And in the modern world, it flows toward attention. If you solve a painful problem, money moves toward you. If you control access to something people want, money moves toward you. If you capture attention at scale, money moves toward you. This is why creators can become wealthy. This is why business owners can become wealthy. This is why investors can become wealthy. They are not always working more hours. They are positioned closer to where money flows. The worker asks, "How much will I be paid for my time?" The player asks, "Where is the value being created, and how can I own a piece of it?" That one question changes everything. Because the money game is not just about income. It is about ownership. Ownership of assets. Ownership of skills. Ownership of audiences. Ownership of systems. Ownership is how you stop being only a piece on the board and start becoming one of the players. The strange thing about the money game is that many rules are not actually secret. They are hidden in plain sight. Everyone knows assets matter. But most people still buy liabilities first. Everyone knows skills matter. But most people stop learning after school. Everyone knows relationships matter. But most people surround themselves with people who think exactly like them. Everyone knows time is valuable. But most people trade their best hours for the lowest returns. Everyone knows attention is powerful. But most people spend their attention instead of building with it. The rules are visible. The problem is that most people do not treat them seriously. They think money is only about numbers. But money is also behavior. Discipline. Status. Desire. Fear. Patience. And power. In every game, there are players and there are resources. In the money game, your time can become someone else's resource. Your attention can become someone else's profit. Your insecurity can become someone else's business model. Your desire for status can become someone else's revenue. This is not a conspiracy. This is business. Companies study your behavior. Platforms study your attention. Advertisers study your desires. Employers study how much pressure you can tolerate. The world is studying you. The question is, are you studying the world back? If you do not understand the game, you become predictable. If you become predictable, you become easy to control. And if you are easy to control, someone will always profit from your confusion. That is why learning money is not greed. It is self-defense. Learning the money game does not mean worshiping money. It does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean using people. It does not mean measuring your soul by your bank account. Money is a terrible god. But it is a powerful servant. The goal is not to love money. The goal is to stop being helpless without it. Because when you have no money, your choices shrink. You stay in places you hate. You tolerate disrespect. You accept bad deals. You delay dreams. You make decisions from fear instead of freedom. That is the real cost of not learning the game. It is not just poverty. It is the loss of choice. And choice is one of the deepest forms of freedom. The tragedy is that many people hate the money game because they were hurt by it. They watched their parents struggle. They watched bills create fear inside the home. They watched good people get tired, bitter, and silent. So they associate money with stress, with greed, with corruption, with people changing. But the answer is not to reject money. The answer is to understand it deeply enough that it stops controlling you. You do not defeat a game by refusing to look at the board. You defeat it by learning the moves. You study the patterns. You understand the incentives. You protect your attention. You build skills. You buy assets before status. You turn knowledge into leverage. You stop asking why the game is unfair, and start asking how to stop being crushed by it. Do not hate the money game. Learn its rules. Learn how value is created. Learn how attention is monetized. Learn how assets grow. Learn how debt can either trap you or build you. Learn how reputation opens doors. Learn how ownership changes your position in the world. Because the game will continue whether you understand it or not. The economy will not pause for your anger. The market will not slow down for your confusion. The system will not become fair just because you refuse to participate. But you can become harder to exploit. You can become harder to manipulate. You can become harder to replace. And eventually, you can become free enough to choose how you want to live. Money is not the meaning of life. But in this world, not understanding money can cost you your life. So do not hate the game. Learn the rules. Then play for freedom, not just wealth. If this video made you think differently about money, then you are already learning the rules. Subscribe for more videos about money, power, strategy, and human nature.